but we can kind of use that as a transition into the main topic of today, and we can kind of finish the show up this way. Um, so the NFL draft happened. We're starting our conversations of each division, and then we'll dive into the 2 to 3 picks, and we can give an honorable mention if we need to as to who are the favorites in that division. The other goal, what I'm going to do is, and I did this last year, we'll kind of have a spreadsheet of sorts, and then I'll mark down a lot of this stuff, and then we'll talk about who was the best quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, not player, but teams. So that's kind of important because last year you could have the best quarterback, but is it the best quarterback room? If that quarterback goes down, what is it worth? Also, running backs, same thing. When we get to the tight ends, we all might think we know who the best tight end is, but is that the best tight end room? Um, so just starting off, AFC North, that was the Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Steelers that were in that division. The Ravens made the playoffs last year. Also, the famous Steelers did too. The Browns and the Bengals did not. Joe Burrow did have an injury that caused some of it. The Bengals had probably one of the worst defenses in the league, which is another reason why Deshaun Watson blew out his Achilles. So the Browns are nowhere to be found. Kind of just starting this before we go into positionals. Which teams do you feel from this division will make the playoffs next year? Well, this upcoming year.
The Steelers and the Ravens for sure, and I think the Bengals will too.
Okay.
Um, if the Browns can have a quarterback, then maybe. But um, I think the only one that would be like 100% would be the Ravens. And the
Yeah.
Steelers are probably like 80%, depending on their quarterback situation. But they have enough talent to find a bum off the street and make it happen. They also added DK Metcalf. Bengals, if they can have any sort of like step forward in the right direction on defense, yes, they
Okay.
can
Yeah.
win the division for sure. Um, and then Browns again, they get a quarterback. They have a really good defense, so they can take a step. But yes, I think the Ravens and the Steelers do, and then the Bengals, yes, as well.
So easy one as long as all kind of goes this way. The Ravens are the surefire one. Um, as long as Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are there. If either one of them are gone, it's not a surefire. I say that because they have other running backs that are there. It's not necessarily just that premier top running back that you have in Derrick Henry. I don't know what you're going to do at quarterback. You're putting a lot on Lamar, so you have to make sure that front five is taking care of him. Front seven, if you want to end up putting in Likely and Andrews into that mix too. Um, so I do want to see that. I brought it up time and time again, and people do not like when I say this. They need more help at wide receiver. Yes, you have Rashad Bateman. Yes, you have Zay Flowers. I know some of y'all that listen to this show really believe Rashad Bateman can be your number one. I believe and I know they need more. If you look at some of these other teams, look at the Bengals. The Bengals can go three deep at this point. Doesn't matter who you put in as that third receiver, but it'll end up doing it. You look at the Eagles. For them to just win the championship, they have a bunch of guys can step up and be that person. Look at the Chiefs, who won back to back. They have it too.